Dozens of Yemeni women protested outside the hotel hosting the talks in the capital Sana'a this week, calling for an end to the political crisis.
The political parties must come up with urgent outcomes to ensure Yemen does not plunge into war.
The United Nations Special Envoy to Yemen, Jamal Benomar, said Friday the agreement would see a transitional council replace the upper house of lawmakers, while the existing lower house, dominated by supporters of the Houthis, would remain in place. The Houthis' takeover of the capital pitted them against Yemen's Sunni tribes and other groups from the south. The country is still close to civil war, says Abu Bakr al-Shamahi, a British Yemeni journalist.
There's a lot of cliches around Yemen that it's always on the brink. Negotiations always manage to save the day at the last minute. The problem with the Houthis is that in the negotiations in the past, they have simply, gone back on their promises and advanced and advanced and advanced.
The Houthis' advance into the capital was helped by tacit support from the former president, Ali Abdullah Saleh. The United States accuses him of supporting the Houthis to create the conditions for a coup.
Saleh has been known over the last 40 years now, almost 40 years, to play this game, to be able to pit one side against the other. And I think he's betting on being able to do that again. The question is will he be able to do it with the Houthis? There's new actors, new people that perhaps may be able to have the upper hand over him.
There are fears that any conflict would draw in regional powers, says Jane Kininmont of the London-based policy institute Chatham House.
The Houthis do have some support from Iran. Many people think that that is what has enabled them to be so well organised compared to a lot of other Yemeni political groups. And of course, Saudi Arabia is very worried because of that regional dimension. So these factors up the stakes and increase the risk of intervention.
Saudi Arabia sent troops into Yemen in 2009 to counter a Houthi uprising. More than 100 Saudi troops were killed, and Kininmont says Riyadh is unlikely to risk another incursion.
Another option is to arm the tribes. Saudi Arabia will also be worried about the risks that such support could inadvertently fuel al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula.
Sunni al-Qaeda militants have clashed with Yemeni government troops and Houthi rebels. They could gain from the increasingly sectarian nature of the conflict, says Abu Bakr al-Shamahi.
The Houthis presenting themselves as this quite pro-Iranian movement have given the opportunity for al-Qaeda to say, look, Shias are in charge now, these pro-Iranian Shias, they must be defeated.
The potentially explosive mix of tribal, regional and sectarian rivalries has pushed Yemen close to the brink of civil war. But the UN envoy insists the agreement on a transitional council does pave the way for a long-term peace deal. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.